across this side. Okay. Do you have a way to disengage from it?
No, I don't.
Okay, then it gets to use its reaction against you. I have an 18 to hit.
Does not hit.
Does not hit. As you manage to duck underneath, a huge bevy of swirling sharp bones as you step out of the swarm, and you're no longer wrapped up in death's embrace, as the action is called.
And my turn there, because I can't do anything else.
Okay. I spy with my little
I think
eye.
that triggers Adrex's action?
It does.
Sure does. All right. Stabby times.
Yeah.
That is a 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
17 will hit. I'm going to savage attack of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I would too.
That is 9 fire and 6 piercing. And please make a strength saving throw. Still 18.
6 piercing, strength saving throw. 18.
On the money, alright. He still takes an additional 10 damage. And he is not disarmed, so he still has all his arm.
There are many, many arms, yes. Adrex, moving or staying put? You can move safely
That
without
was his reaction.
strength.
No, that was my reaction.
That was a
I can't
reaction.
move.
I'm sorry.
That was the end of Raazu's
That
turn.
was the end of Raazu's turn. It sure was. That brings us to... Oh, that's right. It's the Bone Swarm's turn. And there are 2 PCs conveniently standing next to each other.
It did move away from me, though.
It did.
Out of my threat range, so I'm going to Sentinel it.
Oh, you know what? No, it can't move there. Never mind.
Oh.
The rules preclude it from moving there.
I'm sorry, McDohl.
I am upset. I am legit upset.
The only legal place for it to move is here.
I am legit upset.
Got him.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and attack Raazu.
I rolled a freaking nat 20 to try to hit him with Sentinel.
Sorry. Dude, we came up with a great... I don't know if I told on stream it, but it came up with a great idea for a magic weapon that if you roll a 20, you don't have to use it on that attack. You can save it and then use it later. Raazu, I have a 18 to hit.
Nope.
Okay, so you're back in the thing's swarm, but you're not grappled by it.
Okay.
It was just trying to attack you. So it doesn't get a number of attacks like a typical multi-attack does. It's allowed to attack everybody inside of the swarm, and it has a recharging ability that it can try to grapple one of you to move with it.
Okay.
So it's still blocking the stairway, but now we've got Raazu back in the swarm. And that's going to bring us to Birdie.
All right. So
to clarify,
I'm not
Razu's
grappled.
in the swarm, but she is not grappled. She's not being held at all.
right. So I'm going under the assumption that this is not going to hit Raazu, and I'm going to shoot this with my bow.
Raazu does count as being within 5 feet of the creature, because she is literally in the middle of 5 feet, swirling around her head.
Does a 19 hit it?
It does.
Okay. Sorry I stabbed you those 2 times.
It's fine. Take it out of your hide later.
Now, you owe me.
You would think
That's
after the
true.
first stab, he wouldn't have tried the second one, but
Well,
That's true. That debt is annulled at this point.
how'd you do?
35 damage.
What AC did you hit?
I told you 19. You said it
19.
hit.
Okay, good. 35. I gotta even count that EXE. How many arrows does Birdie have left? And what are you firing with?
My +1 short bow.
Okay.
I have 32 arrows.
And you put the arrow directly through this flap of skin and pin it to the far wall, like a grisly tapestry. Moving or staying put, Birdie?
Is this space habitable?
I would say yes for you if you want to squeeze. You can squeeze back behind the pillar, but otherwise you'll be standing pretty much in front of the pillar.
Yeah.
You're small, so I'll give you the option.
Right.
So
I
squeeze
just
back.
trying to break away from red.
And it's nice and warm back here because
Right.
the curtain's hanging.
Right.
And
Maybe I'll try
Red,
to take
you're
this
up.
curtain.
Let's go ahead and throw a dagger at this guy.
Okay.
It's Dragonbone dagger.
Okay.
Hits an armor class of 22.
That's good.
You're welcome, guys.
I'm right next to it too.
I mean, the main thing is just spread out, so it can't get more than one of us. That'll do a total of... Sorry, that shouldn't be there. 35 piercing damage and 1 cold damage.
Okay. And is Red moving or staying put?
As a bonus action, I'll give Adrex advantage on his next attack against it, and I'll flatten myself against this door.
Flatten yourself against the door. Got it. So that's going to bring us to Adrex.
That's me.
It is.
I have
That is
advantage on
you.
it.
You do.
All right. I'm gonna stab it.
You will.
Well, he'll
Hopefully.
try.
I don't like that negativity.
That is a 28 to hit.
We'll hit.
Cool.
I think of it as alternate positivity.
It's realism.
9 fire and 6 piercing.
Okay.
And there's no save on. It just happened.
What just happened?
Distracting.
And what does that do?
When you hit with a weapon attack, I can expend a superiority die, deal damage. So it takes an additional 6 damage,
Okay.
and any creature other than me that attacks it next has advantage on their roll.
So you get to make the rest of your attacks, but not at advantage. But then whoever goes after you
Right.
gets... Okay, is it just all their attacks or just their first attack? Just the next creature to attack it other than you gets advantage?
Next attack roll.
Got
So
it.
yeah.
So it's going to be
So
Windy's first
but-
attack of the round.
I got 2 more attacks. I got
You do.
actually more than that. That is a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
Cool. I'm gonna savage attacker that.
Savage.
Much better.
That's
11
not a lot
fire
better.
and 8 piercing.
Well done.
Okay.
Third attack.
Adrex gonna Adrex.
That is a 21 to hit
21 will hit.
for 8 fire and 8 piercing.
And you start to notice that there's way more spatters of blood and broken bones strewn across the floor and the walls and the bottom of the stairs now than there is still caught up in the whirlwind around Raazu.
And offhand attack.
With what?
My silvered sword. Silvered
Okay.
longsword. There's a 28 to hit
That'll hit.
for 11 slash.
And is Adrix moving or staying put?
If I move back a space, that's going to be an attack of opportunity, right?
No, because you're not in the swarm. You can
Sexy.
step back.
I'm going to do that.
It's possibly the least sexy monster you've ever fought. It's going to bring us to Windy. You have advantage on your first attack this turn.
All right. I am going to step forward, build my cloak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to shoot it with sharpshooter.
Gotcha.
1 second. Actually, if I'm going to do one, I might as well do them all. There we go. That is a 17 hit
17 will hit.
for 18 magical piercing.
Okay.
Thank you, Adrix.
What
And
else
then
you
I
got?
will shoot it one more time.
Okay.
That's a 17 to hit
That hits.
for 11 magical piercing.
And what else you got?
That's all I got.
You fire
That's it.
2
That's it for me.
arrows, being very, very careful to not aim them at Raazu. And staying put there on the top of the, or middle, like 5, 10 feet.
I'm going to take 1 step back.
1 step back, gotcha. Okay, it's going to bring us to Raazu inside the swarm. If you attempt to leave the swarm, you will invoke its reaction.
Then the best thing to do is just kill it now. So I'm going to attack with my whip.
Okay.
Ugh, that's only an 11 to hit.
11 does not hit.
12 hit.
12 does not hit.
Yeah. 13.
13 does not hit.
Fuck's sake.
Just very,
Just going up one at a time.
very disorienting. You're constantly have to reach up and wipe the gore out of your eyes. I'm moving. Not moving. Staying put.
You know, he's probably gonna try it anyway, so it's one way or the other. Yeah, I'm gonna step back out.
Okay. It will use its reaction. Hit a 19.
Just hits.
Just hits. That's what I like to hear. $33 points of BPS damage as you step out of the swarm. And this is probably the grossest any of you have ever seen Raazu. And you've seen her strip naked and step into a pool of oatmeal.
No, she put the oatmeal on her and then stepped into the pool.
Either way, it was pretty gross. Is that the end of your turn?
That's the end of Rose's turn, yeah.
Okay, it's going to bring us to the swarm. Everybody's pretty spread out here. Well, let's see if I recharge my thing. Let's go ahead and attack Raazu one more time.
You rudelinger.
It missed with its grapple attack.
That's fine.
I hit an AC of 21.
That hits.
Okay. $27 points of BPS damage.
Razu's down.
As Raazu, she doesn't fall prone to the ground, but you hear the clatter of her weapon as it drops. And the swarm itself is kind of keeping her aloft, spinning inside the vortex of it. And then it moves back in front of the stairs. And at that point, Raazu's body slumps to the ground, but she does not awaken. And that's going to bring us to Birdie. Birdie, what you got?
I'm going to run behind the curtain.
Okay.
I'm going to step here, and I'm going to be like, and I'm going to shove a healing potion in Raazu's gullet.
Well, you're not running behind the curtain because you're going to have to squeeze behind these pillars. But yeah, you've got plenty of movement to get there and put a potion in her gullet, you said? Do hobgoblins have gullets?
I don't know. Let's
I'd
see.
imagine so.
Gizzards, I think.
Gizzards?
I mean, so Raazu, you get 7 hit points back.
That's what I had before I died. Before I went down.
And Raazu, you cough up a huge amount of blood, and you're not sure how much of it is yours. You're sprawled out on the floor, laying on top of your whip. Birdie, is that the end of your turn?
I gently pat Raazu on the top of her head, and then go back behind the pillar here.
All right, Red, you're up.
You muted Destil.
Right, so I'm going to move back to here. I'm going to flip a dagger off of my belt, hold it, and ready in action to throw it at the swarm as soon as Adrex is in range. And then as a bonus action, I'll give Adrex advantage on his next attack against it.
Very good. And Adrex, you're up.
All right. Guess what I'm going to do? Bam!
It's going to trigger Red's dagger.
Hits an armor class of 15.
15 does not hit. Dagger hits the far
Precise
wall.
attack.
Okay.
17.
17 will
That'll
hit.
hit. I know, because I used wiggle dice to get it up to 17 and that hit.
That'll do 30 6 points of piercing damage and 1 point of cold damage.
Adrex, I got bad news for you.
Yeah.
You heft your weapon and step forward, determined to slaughter this creature before it has a chance to finish off Raazu. But no sooner do you rearing back to strike, does Red fling a dagger in, and the thing stops swirling, and all at once the bones and body parts and gore are ejected outwards. There's a huge, terrible clatter as most of the mound of flesh lands at the base of the stairs, and the thing is dead. And you don't get to do anything.
Raazu coughs, staggers to her feet, picks up her whip, looks to the others. Never again!
I told you I didn't like this room.
Don't make any
Never
noise.
again.
I can't keep Raazu.
Hey, Raazu.
Hey.
Take
Hi,
10 plus your level HP.
Thank you, Adrex.
You guys in the room, you can't even see Windy because the stairs are almost completely blocked by the entire room full of carefully organized body parts is now just laying in a horrible heap at the base here.
I would say
Wendy,
that classifies as not calling off her maintenance.
Wendy, it's all clear
It's
down
an
here.
inconvenience mimic.
And, I mean, Windy, you kind of have to clamber your way over and work to make a path through all these body parts, just kind of slopping them to the sides against the pillars and the walls.
So I vote that we find a path around to not go back to the previous room, because I'm afraid there's one of these in there too. We just didn't trigger it for some. Yes, no.
How much of the, how much viscera and gore and party parts and whatnot are left on the shelves after that thing is assembled?
None.
Okay.
Nothing.
Not a one, huh?
That sounds like a good
Raazu.
idea, Birdie.
Hey, Destil, or Red, did you get a chance to look for traps on this door?
No, I think we called initiative as soon as I got there.
No, you
Okay.
called initiative as you were backing away from the door. You checked
Oh,
it,
okay.
you didn't see any traps, but you noted
Yeah.
that the pull ring is...
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
It's like the ones on the tower.
Okay, Raazu attempts to try and pull it and open the door.
And you do, and it doesn't budge. It has no give whatsoever. The door won't open.
Crowbar?
Yeah, I'll try and go out the door with the crowbar. Wedge it and try and tear the
So
door
you
open
try to-
that way.
Wedge it into the door, and again, every time you do, the crowbar slips away, as though you cannot find purchase.
See, this right here is why we should have gotten the recipe for the black powder.
Raazu reaches into her pouch, pulls out the iron heat metal ring,
Okay?
looks at the door.
The door's made of wood, except for the pull ring, which is metal.
That wouldn't make the door catch fire, would it?
You have no idea. Could do any number of things. It's a magic ring given to you by an orc,
A crazy orc lady.
crazy
Who
orc
names her
war
people
chief,
colors.
I
who
mean,
keeps
Her
a harem
her
of
names are people.
fighter slaves for her bedchamber.
well, like, don't use the ring. If you want to set fire to it, let's just set fire to the door and leave and come back later. Let it burn.
Don't we have an axe we brought specifically for tree roots?
Oh
We
yes,
did.
I do. No, I have a saw. Oh, wait. Were we given an axe?
You
I
guys
have a
invested in this after having difficulty cutting the roots down in the cellar on the ladder.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
true.
I invested in a saw because
Yeah.
I'm too small to swing an axe.
Adrix's hand axes. That's
Well, I mean,
Axe
there
is
was
dead.
there was that other set of stairs on
Got
the
'em.
other side. We could go down there. See what's down those stairs.
those went up, not down.
Yeah, that's the only
Those
way we
went
have
up.
going down right now.
So, here's my vote. We
Mhm.
set fire to the door, right?
Okay.
And then we just come back later.
See, just because you repeat yourself and say the same idea again doesn't mean that it's still worth acknowledging.
Hey, you owe me again.
Are the
No.
hinges on this side of the door or the other side of the door?
I'm sorry.
No,
Are the hinges on this side of the door or the other side of the door?
You'd be pulling the door inward. The hinges are on this side.
Oh,
I'm gonna grab the crowbar off of Raazu, and I'm gonna try and just remove the hinges themselves.
And every time you try to get the crowbar up underneath the hinge and try to pop it, the crowbar slips away.
you think it might be a magic thing keeping this crowbar from getting in there?
Can I try and use my thieves' tools to do some more delicate work and try and remove the screws or bolts or whatever?
You can, but you have the same problem. Every time you get in there with a pin or a probe or a pair of pliers or wire cutters or whatever else you have, it feels like your tools just won't catch the parts of the material that you want them to catch.
Maybe the
Raazu
people.
Raazu
Maybe the
prods
people
Birdie.
upstairs. Go ahead, Raazu.
Raazu prods Birdie with the butt of her whip and says, "Is this thing magic?"
I don't know.
Birdie, make an
door.
Arcana check.
Birdie squints at it. And he says, that's a 23.
There's no physical apparatus by which this door could be locked. I mean, you imagine there could be... Well, no, there couldn't even be just a bar on the other side because it's going to open inward into this room. And seeing the way that these tools keep sliding away from this door expertly, you're thinking if you had a magic spell to secure a door that didn't also prevent it from being removed or destroyed, it wouldn't be that valuable of a spell. You're thinking whatever spell is keeping this door closed is also preventing damage from being done to it.
All right.
Okay.
Item 1. The person we talked to upstairs wants us to get through this door. Item 2. The person we talked to upstairs has a very low opinion of us.
Yeah.
Thus, there must be some alternate way of getting through this door. I suspect some sort of key, in which case it's probably upstairs.
Yeah. Raazu turns around, waits
Hey,
for the
Raazu,
door and
do
Viscera.
you want to maybe let Adrex go first, given what happened in the last room with all the body parts? Given that you're still a bit beat up?
Adrex. Go. She says it very grudgingly, though.
I figured I'd be a bro and give you guys a compass rose.
That's helpful.
So we're heading back up the stairs. Let's go ahead and see.
Also, thanks for helping us find the secret doors as well.
Yeah, we don't have to bother searching this room. We already see there's none here.
Oh, don't worry, I've erased those off the map. What do you think? This is my first goddamn rodeo? Come on, what do you take me for?
Here, don't worry, Burkhardt, I'll help you out. Now no one knows.
Crate door? Weird. Think there are crates on the other side of it?
Makes
could
sense
be.
to me.
Crepes? Ooh, that'd be delicious.
Oh, we got huge again.
I still don't know why that's happening. That's never happened before, and it's only happening on this map.
It only
Adrex,
happens in this
You head back up into the charnel room, and this charnel room seems undisturbed.
We should pile everything in the middle of the room and set it on fire.
I just was muted.
Birdie, how
give me-
exactly are you going to set blood on fire?
One moment. And Wendy walks back through.
Windy,
Walks over
hold
here.
on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on,
Hold on.
bitch.
Holding on.
What's your passive perception? -5?
For being blind? 14. 14 minus 5.
So 14 minus 5 is 9.
Oh, no, 19 minus 5.
Is-
So
okay.
14.
Okay.
And continues,
Where are you going?
walks through,
And you're back in the Great Hall. You're heading back up towards the...
heading over to the
Where the
orb.
hell does...
You're
Where
not
the
going to
hell
have
is she
any way of
going?
knowing whether the blanket is still draped over the orb without reaching out. and
No,
feeling
that's
for
fine.
it.
And Wendy just says to the room, we just got attacked by a lot of jars of bones and stuff. We're going to break these up here unless you can tell us they're not going to attack us. All right.
Just speaking to the orb. All right.
Yeah, the orb didn't say anything. Let's go. Break the shit.
Break what shit? Oh.
So, to
Cause
reiterate,
chaos.
the difference between this room and the room below is the room below had a tanning rack and some cleansing knives. This room has 2 large ceramic vats in the north end of the room that have
With
big
what?
ceramic lids with a wooden mechanism of some kind over the top of them.
Does the wooden mechanism look like it could be used for opening the lids?
It looks like the lids can be opened just by grabbing hold of the knob on top and pulling it up. It's kind of hinged
What's
on
the
the side.
Red, what's this mechanism for?
Red, I'll let you make either a... It's going to have to be a medicine check. Nothing else would really apply.
That is
There's that weird void right there. Oh god, I found another one.
I think if I
That's
change
a
my color, maybe I'll be able to see.
21 on medicine.
21. You know, I don't see any
Fashion.
voids anywhere. That's so
Right.
weird.
It's just random
It's a die
spots.
void. It doesn't affect
No,
anything.
there's a reason for it. I can go through it afterwards.
Okay. You got a 21?
Yeah.
Do you open one of the vats?
Does that seem pertinent to the investigation?
That's what I'm asking. Are you opening one of the vats, or are you just examining the mechanism?
I'd be examining the mechanism before I open the vat.
Okay. The mechanism itself looks like a spinning disc set into like some framework. The framework can be hinged up and down. If you hinged it down, it looks like it would be over the top of this vat. Right now, that's not possible because the lid of the vat is in the way. And then there's a slot with a pin in one side of this rotating disc where it looks like something can be inserted and then pinned into place. And that's what the mechanism looks like. You think it'll just spin around in a circle, this disc. Not clear what it's for, though.
Yeah, I'll take a look inside the vat then.
When
After
you open up one of the vats, the room begins filled with an overwhelming coppery odor as it's a vat of blood. And Adrex, and Red too, having made that medicine check. Blood, if left to settle, will eventually congeal unless it is disturbed. And you looks like a large plank of wood can be affixed in this mechanism, which can then be closed down into the vat, and then you can crank the top to stir this vat of blood to prevent it from congealing or freezing.
What the hell does
So like
anyone
a
need
milk?
this much blood for?
How much blood does
Maybe
Adrex have?
A body's worth.
There's probably more than a body's worth in this vat, and there's 2 of these vats.
Can, Wendy, if you churn blood, does it make butter? Is that what's going on here?
Wendy, you're a pretty good cook, and that's the dumbest thing you've ever heard.
You can make a pudding out of blood.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
I mean,
Well-
maybe.
I mean, obviously, it's not what they're doing.
No,
Maybe
because the
horrible.
kitchen's over there. And Raazu points to the northern wall and then growls, This is all well and good, but we need to be moving."
we haven't fought anything that uses blood yet, have we? Aside from that thing in the last room, which
We ran into
that
that.
just seemed to incidentally have blood.
Are you
You're in
leaving the vat
facility,
open
what?
when you leave this room?
No, I'll close it.
Okay, you close the vat now.
We
Come
did
back
run
out
into
into the
that.
Great Hall.
That scary
Everything
blood
we've been
goddess.
fighting doesn't really need blood. I mean,
Yeah.
undead frost.
Oh,
giant.
maybe that's the blood that she took out of them before she made them undead. Like they don't need any.
She just
Well,
decided
why would
she
you keep
needed
it
the blood.
fresh?
What if you
Raazu
need it
stops you
later?
at this-
Well, I mean, you can always congeal it later, but you can't refresh it.
Raazu
Maybe-
stops at this door, tries to open it.
And same thing. Doesn't budge. There's 0 give.
Raazu rolls her eyes, grunts, and then starts heading this way.
Birdie's like, you know what we need to get next time we got tools? We need to get like a
Raazu.
pickaxe.
I want
Hey.
Raazu's passive perception.
Past perception is 11.
11. Okay. Are we heading up the stairs?
Yep.
Okay.
What happened-
we save floor
What happened to
1.
the idea of Adrex leading?
You are being all, ooh, what's this? Oh, what's this? Oh, look at that. Oh, look at there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are they not acting on Raazu's schedule?
Apparently not.
I'm sorry. I find blood fascinating.
There are 4 more archers with held actions. How many hit points does Raazu have left?
It's okay, Adrix. I find blood fascinating too.
Okay, bear with me. a
Mostly the
second. I'm gonna
reactions
have
with various toxins and vigilance, but still.
I find blood delicious.
Anticoagulants.
Okay, let me pull up my second floor map here.
You can make sausage out of blood.
Just blood sausage, no like meat needed.
Well, I mean, you need the casing.
Okay. So
And
you
you can,
stuff the
like-
blood in the sausage,
Right. I mean, you can put other stuff in there if you want.
like spices.
Yeah, like spices or maybe like a little bit of a filler. Like maybe a little bit of meat, but mostly blood.
Okay.
How's this room look?
That looks
Maybe a little
pretty
bit
good.
more on the southern edge. Just like enough. Like there's maybe a corner that we can't quite tell if there's a door or something.
That looks good.
You should see 2
Yeah, that's
doors
good.
to the south, one to the west, and then double doors to the north as you come up into this room.
Looks good to me.
The room looks bare. There's nothing stored in here. You do see a hearth along this wall in the room. Where when living people were here, this might have been a gathering room, perhaps. If you had a rug on the carpet and the hearth was blazing, it would be very comfortable indeed. As it is, the hearth is cold and there's nothing at all there. You see brickwork in the walls behind you in the eastern wall, where very, very narrow windows have been bricked over. These were once arrow loops. The southern wall, you see two single doors. There's a single door on the western wall, and the double doors here.
Raazu leans up against the wall, looks to the others, motions for them to come up.
I'm all for politeness, but if I see another bunch of bones and stuff, I swear to God, I'm setting on fire.
Just go ahead and
I will not
search
hold Birdie
double
back.
doors for traps.
Okay, go ahead and make that check.
So 35.
35. No traps, but each of the doors, the pouring on them, behave as the ones below, like it's stuck. Will not budge.
So check this single door next to it.
Okay, go ahead.
It's 20, 7? Yeah, 27.
Something strange about this door. This one opens the other direction, so you're grabbing hold of the ring and then pushing it. And you realize when you get to the door that it's not all the way closed. You don't notice any traps, and the ring feels normal, but it's not all the way closed. There's no light coming from the crack, but you wouldn't have noticed that the door was open even a little bit if you hadn't been searching.
I'll motion for everyone else to be quiet, and I'll put my ear against the door and listen.
And listen?
Yep.
Make a perception check, please.
Yep. That's a active perception of... 22.
You hear a crackling sound and a couple of pops as though a small fire is on the other side of this door. It sounds like, not like a raging inferno, it sounds like burning logs.
Then I'll motion to those that there's probably someone in this next room. Pull a dagger out.
Raazu hefts her whip, moves closer but not in front.
Pretty much, I'll move back and make room for Adrex.
Are we kicking the door in?
Adrex is going to hold his hand up with 3 fingers and go 3, 2, 1, and open the door.
Open the door.
When are we going?
Is it 1, 2, 3, go, or do we go on 3?
Go on 3.
All right, how's that work?
Birdie would have.
Should have doors to the north and south, and then one in the west. Adrex, looking into this room, or are you just recklessly running in without knowing what's in there?
Recklessly running in without knowing what's in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, held action. I'm going to roll to hit. Adrex, I have a 19 to hit.
My AC is 72, so
72?
that misses.
That misses.
Yeah, that hits.
I also dropped some dice. That's terrible. I'll step on those later. Adrex, you recklessly stepped straight into the room, and there's a loud thwap sound as something impacts your foot. Not enough to deal damage, but when you look in that direction, you see a startled, extraordinarily ugly little girl, a female orc, and she's holding like a wooden switch. She was hiding on the other side of this wall, and when you opened the door, she reached out and thwapped your leg like that.
Like how? Can you repeat that?
I can't, because I accidentally knocked my headset off of my head when I made the thwapping motion, and it impacted my microphone. So it was a happy accident.
So, and then the motion that we can't even see because we don't have cameras.
She's
Here's a good motion
dressed
there.
in not finery, but maybe she's dressed in well-kept and clean attire. She's wearing breeches and a tunic, and she's got a heavy woolen cloak that she's not wearing. It's actually laying on the floor behind her. In the far corner of the room here, well, in this wall is the other side of the hearth, another large hearth that opens up into the same chimney as the one in room number 9. The hearth isn't completely lit, but she has some kind of fire going there, just a small fire for her personal use. She is heartily surprised when you stride into the room. You seem to have shocked her more than anything. She tumbles backwards and falls over onto her butt in the corner of the room. What's Adrex's next move?
Step back a little bit.
Making noise back against this door here?
Yeah. Go like this.
Can you see the door there?
Yeah, he's got his flame more out.
There. And as you stumble backwards, clanking and clattering the whole way, and making that chicken sound, you see her eyes get real big, and she seems... Afraid is probably the wrong word. Somewhere between afraid and annoyed, perhaps. And she brings a finger up between her lips and holds it there and motions her head, cocks it to the left, indicating the door here behind her. But she says nothing. And that's where we're going to call the session for the week. Yeah,
So
she rolled a fucking 19 on that to hit roll. That was astounding. All right, so let's
Killing
save.
Adrex instantly. No save.
Right?
No
He's
save.
dead now.
Can we have a
I am Adrex's brother. Badrex.
Bladrix.
Bladrex. Bladrex is really good.
Bladrix.
Can you
I
have
can't
a
wait till we get to Kadrix.
Can we schedule a Book of Beasts intervention, please?
No. That monster was awesome. What are you talking about?
That thing was awful.
Objection.
That thing was butt.
There were butts in the swarm. All right,
Yeah,
go ahead
but-
and paste the straw poll link in the Twitch chat. Hi, Twitch chat. How you doing tonight? There's
Hello,
your straw
Twitch
poll link.
Chat.
I'm going to go dark while I add up a whole bunch of experience. I'll be back in a couple minutes. You guys figure out who you would like to award blips to.
All right, badass.
Raazu for immediately going, no, you guys are not going fast enough, even though I am going. No?
That's not badass. That's the shit that gets Raazu dead all the time.
Okay, I tried.
Flipping that.
That's okay. I'm gonna take a blip for that as well.
Does anyone have a alternate suggestion for badass?
I guess me for actually being the one to go above the top. No, because I got unconscious, so I think that invalidates my contributions.
Well, okay, creative.
Raazu did have a very solid methodical plan for clearing out the towers.
What was the creativity?
Should that be
that's
party goals?
Okay.
Because that was pretty good. But
I'm good with party goals.
All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna nominate myself for creative for double help to get you guys out of that swarm.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I
was
like
really
that.
good.
Yes, that was really good.
It's a good one.
All right, so that we got Raazu and all right, so intangibles.
I'm gonna give intangibles to Birdie for touching the stupid sphere. I just enjoyed it.
No, it was good. And then so we're back to badass. Adrex, you better come up with something. We're giving it to Raazu.
Hmm. I got nothing. Sorry.
I pulled Birdie's dumb ass off that tower and then also went back up. for
No,
that.
you didn't.
Yep.
You didn't pull me off the tower. Red pulled me off the tower.
That's true.
I still went
I
up there
will
and broke
say-
that damn thing.
Yeah, I think that is pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
Just dodging lightning bolts all day, every day.
So this is the reason was. Well, can't put that away.
Oh yeah. Like, well, Birdie's
then-
unconscious now. He
And
just
then
ate
took
all
4
those
held
arrows.
actions anyway. For the face.
I don't think took a single point of damage.
I mean, they did. They hit in my general direction with an arrow. Unfortunately, that doesn't work out too well for them.
Okay.
All right, now everyone use the time remaining to look at your own goddamn shit.
All right. Who wants to make their case for blips first tonight?
Birdie will go.
Boydie.
Okay. So my alignment, willing to help out, but want something in return for testing the horrible bone meat swarm's ability to move grappled creatures in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew I had a Raazu owed me one, and I could get out of stabbing her an extra time.
Wow.
Oh, don't believe me. You're still in the hole. No bones about that.
What else?
The video, and that's it.
All right. Who's next?
I've got it. I've only got 3 today.
Raazu.
I've got my ideal. Work hard, play harder. I earn my leisure time, and by Osprey, I use it to my fullest. For pressing ahead while people were playing with the dumb blood. I've got her bond. A sword arm is only the beginning of a greater world, but is a necessary first step for entering military command mode to take the curtain wall in a very methodic way.
Okay.
Her flaw, I take any advantage I can and will aid my allies regardless of the consequences for staying in the stupid bone whirlwind thing to give the rogues advantage on. That was misery is what that was.
I got real lucky with that recharge, managing to grapple 2 of you real early in that fight.
Oh my god, that was a pain.
All right. Who's next?
I can go.
Red, go.
Go ahead.
It is often best to do what needs to be done. Explaining it to the others would be a waste of time as my flaw for just running up there, grabbing Birdie, and pulling him back down the stairway without any other thoughts or motions to my companions.
Okay.
And that's it.
And who's next?
I could go.
Windy.
I've got. Wait, how does that work? For pissing off Raazu by saying, okay, wait, we have to figure out what exactly is going on with these blood vats.
Do you know
And
what's going on with him yet? What's Windy's best guess?
my best guess is that it's probably like some kind of reagent, and the reagent doesn't work if the blood is coagulated.
Okay, fair enough.
Monastic tradition redirection for when everyone was downstairs trying to force open that door. Wendy was just like, wait, hold on, guys. We need to think this through from the perspective of the person who wants us to get down here. And then last was learning new things is never wasted. For like working through the mechanics of the entranceway, thinking, okay, why did they brick up this door? Like, why is this door not letting us through?
And your thought is what?
My thought is that the door was bricked up like way before that orb was put in there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's likely that it's just to prevent easy access to the upper level.
Okay.
Because the orb thing being there doesn't make any sense. Like, because they could get through from the western door, but if they're getting through from the western door, they would still need to go around in order to access the stairs. Whereas the stairs out the door, like, would be real easy if that door wasn't bricked up.
And what does Adrex have for me?
Sorry, I'm lost in thought.
Lost in
Realized
thought?
something. I realized something interesting. Bonds, my cool friends and I are working to make the world a better place. It's fallen to me to try and protect them. Oh dear. For agreeing to lead the party, even though Raazu eventually was just like, no, party anyway. Flaws, it sounds like a great idea. Can't something can't. Did Adrex live journal deck?
Okay.
But I realized, because my alignment belief is it's very important to be good at all times versus evil, because evil sucks. Talking to that Arcana Loth, and Adrex was all about like, yo, why don't you tell me the command word to those ballista? And so I'm thinking about it, and I'm just like, Adrex really compromised his ideals, something like that. So that's what I was lost in thought about. But that anyway, that's it. Sorry.
We award one whip for the most creative solution to a problem this session.
We gave that to Red for the double help.
That was pretty good.
X help.
Excellent.
It's actually cross help.
It's less good now that he said that. One blip for who furthered the party's goals the most.
We gave that to Raazu for her stratagem for going up the towers.
And one blip for the badass.
We gave that to Wendy for going up to the top of the tower and breaking that ballista after Birdie got his ass shot.
Well, I'm not sure if it was ass specifically, but yeah.
My beautiful face.
And one for intangibles.
We gave that to, it was good too. What was it for?
The touching the orb.
So for Birdie putting his face right up on that orb.
Okay.
I wouldn't have given it to you if it was for touching the orb. It was specifically for like trying to get your face as close. No, in my mind, it's Birdie literally just trying to see as much as he can through that orb.
And Adrex takes our straw poll this week. So we have a level 15 in the group. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So blips are worth 1,000. And Raazu, you've got 1, 2, 3. Wendy has 1, 2, 3, 4.
Did you not give me one of my aspects or whatever? Because
I gave you your ideal, bond, and flaw. Oh, you have 4.
and then
the assist here.
yeah.
Okay, I miscounted.
Okay.
Now I got to double check Wendy's because you just destroyed my confidence.
Oh,
4
no.
for Wendy. 3 for Adrex. 2 for Birdie and 2 for Red.
I think you're like video, the alignment, and then the intangibles.
Oh yeah, I missed one of yours too. My goodness. Getting
It's okay,
forgetful in
we
my
forgive
old
you.
age. Alright, so for 6 cloaked archers, 4 skeletal dragonborn, and the bone swarm, everybody is taking 2,580 experience from encounters this session.
Partridge in a bone tree.
What are blips worth right now?
1,000. Alright, when we come back next week, we'll find out why there is a ugly little orc child in this horrible undead-infested dungeon. We're on floor 2 here, I think? Yeah.
Yep. You see all the 2s there, Perk
I zoomed out and saw them. I mean, when you draw this many 2s in a row, they cease to be 2s, and now it's just like a strangly line.
Please, Rickard. Beauty is in the rules of the charisma die.
So that's going to be it for us this week. I'll be back streaming this week. We're going to finish up Bloodstained and do some more bomb game and whatever the hell else. And thanks for playing, guys.
Later.
Take care.
See ya.